everybody, it's time for another playoff series preview from the 2021 Stanley Cup Playoffs, and today we're going to be looking at the 2 versus 3 matchup in the Central Division, the Florida Panthers against the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is a series that I am super excited for. I was really hoping we would get to see, and we are going to see the Battle of Florida for the first time in the NHL playoffs, as the 2-seed Panthers will do battle with the defending Stanley Cup champion 3-seed Tampa Bay Lightning. Before we get into the statistics and all of that, I just want to remind everyone to please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't yet. It helps the channel an absolute ton and is greatly appreciated. But let's take a look here at Florida and Tampa Bay. The 2nd seed, Florida Panthers in the Central, finished the year with a 37-14-5 record, good enough for 79 points and a 2nd place finish. They also played very well against the Tampa Bay Lightning this season. They went 5-2-1 in the season series against the Lightning. And the Panthers were one of the top offensive teams in the NHL this season, scoring 3.36 goals for per game, which at the time of recording is good enough for 4th in the NHL. I guess what place they're in could potentially change because some teams still have games left, but just all these rankings for where they were at in the league are based on when I recorded this. So 4th best offense in the league this season in Florida, which is not a surprise because even last year they were one of the top offensive teams in the NHL. They score a ton of goals. 2.70 goals against per game, which is 9th best in the NHL. This was the big area of improvement for the Florida Panthers from last year's team to this year's team. Last year's Panthers team was one of the worst defensive teams in the league and gave up a ton of goals. This year, they were a top 10 defensive team, and that added a lot of wins to the Florida Panthers this season. They finally kept the puck out of their own net while still maintaining a very high level of offense. And now you see one of the better teams in the entire NHL versus a Panthers team last year that was a fringe playoff team that probably wasn't going to get in without the expanding of the playoffs to 24 teams. So the defensive improvement this season really changed the game for the Florida Panthers. Florida, as far as special teams go, are a very middle-of-the-road special teams team. They're 20.5% on the power play, which is 15th in the NHL, right there in the middle. And they are 79.8% on the penalty kill, which is 17th in the NHL. Again, right around middle of the pack for special teams. So, Florida had a very, very, very good season this year. They were a lot of fun to watch. They were a lot better than I thought they were going to be, and we'll see if they can carry that into the postseason. On the other side, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning, the number 3 seed in the Central, your defending Stanley Cup champions. They went 36-17-3 on the season, good enough for 75 points and a 3rd place finish. They missed Nikita Kucherov the entire year. He has not played at all in 2021. He is expected to be back for the start of the playoffs, so that is something to keep in mind. Tampa Bay is getting a huge reinforcement that they haven't had the entire season just in time for the start of the playoffs. They did struggle against the Panthers over the course of this year, going just 3-5-0 against Florida this year. However, they're still one of the top teams in the league. They have a 3.21 goals for per game this season, which was top 10 in the NHL, 9th in the league offensively, and are very good defensively at 2.59 goals against per game, which is tied for 6th in the NHL. They're very solid on the power play with a 22.4% conversion rate on the man advantage, 8th in the NHL, so a top 10 power play, and top 5 on the penalty kill at 84.2% on the PK, which is 4th in the NHL. So when you're looking at these two teams, Obviously, it looks like Florida is a little bit better offensively, but they both have top 10 offenses. Tampa Bay is a little bit better defensively, but they both have top 10 defenses. Florida is very middle of the road on special teams. Tampa Bay is top 10 in both special teams categories. So a slight edge to the Lightning as far as special teams go. This is going to be a really, really fun series, guys. I cannot wait to see how this one goes. I think this one could easily go 6, even 7 games. I think it should be extremely tight all the way through. I think these teams are going to beat the living hell out of each other. They've played a lot of physical games this season. They do not like each other. There has certainly been a strong rivalry here between the two teams from the Sunshine State over the course of the regular season, especially their last 2 games against each other were very, very physical. And that is just going to carry over into the playoffs and even ramp up more in the playoffs from where it's been. So, I'm expecting this to be one of the most fun series. I expect it to go really long, probably 7 games, 6 at the minimum. I don't see this being less than 6 games. I think these two teams are going to really play each other very hard. It's going to be great hockey to watch. And they're both very, very good teams and have been all season long. You look at them, Florida only had 1 more win than the Lightning this season. Obviously, they had some more OT losses, which picked them up a couple extra points. But this is a very evenly matched series heading into the playoffs here. And I think either team is certainly capable of winning it. And then, obviously, you have Kucherov and Stamkos coming back for Tampa Bay, which is going to be absolutely massive. They haven't had Nikita Kucherov all season long. They didn't have Steven Stamkos at the end of the year because of injury. If those guys are healthy and ready to go, that's significant reinforcements for the Lightning heading into the postseason, and definitely an upgrade to their lineup as they get ready for playoff action. So that's something that we kind of haven't seen yet this year. Certainly with Kucherov, we haven't seen it all this season. So, how is he going to affect the outcome of this series now that they are getting one of the best players in the NHL back into their lineup? Something I want to point out about the Florida Panthers, I talked a lot already about their significant improvement on defense and how they've got a top 10 defensive team now, which is vastly different than where they were at last season. The other thing is that there was concern about Florida's offense after this offseason when they lost Evgeny Dadonov and Mike Hoffman, who were 2 pretty significant goal scorers for them. There was concern about Florida's offense dropping off. It has not dropped off at all. The additions of Patrick Hornquist, Anthony Duclair, Carter Verhaeghe, and others have allowed the Panthers' offense to stay at a top 5 level like it has been, but they've also significantly improved defensively without losing any of that offense. And that, I think, has been the biggest difference in the Florida Panthers this year from where they were at the past 2 seasons. So, overall, I am super excited for this series. I'm gonna try and watch as many of these games as I can. Obviously, there's going to be multiple games going on at the same time now, so you're going to have to kind of pick and choose which ones you're able to watch and which ones you're not. But I'm really hoping to be able to watch a good number of these games because this is one of those matchups that before the playoffs even started, I wanted to see. And once it got locked in, or now that it's locked in, I am really, really happy to see it. And I cannot wait to see Florida versus Tampa Bay, the battle of the Sunshine State for the first time ever in the Stanley Cup Playoffs. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. There's a whole lot of nasty between these teams. It's going to be big boy hockey, and I am going to love every second of it. So this is going to be a great series that I think a lot of fans should be tuning in for. If you like playoff style hockey, this is going to be it for sure. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description if you'd like to further support the channel. The links to our Patreon, merchandise store, donation link, and channel memberships are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.